what exactly is for better or for worse? And for better or for worse, these are terms that are only used when two are getting married,
Yeah.
two being conjoined to make one. Yes. So what does for better or for worse mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. For better or for worse is really exactly what it says. It's for better or for worse. And usually those are the words that a couple tell each other when they're getting married. They're very, very serious words. They're not to be taken lightly. Indeed, it is almost like a covenant that you're making.
Yeah.
It's a promise that you're making, and you're saying, you know what, I'm committing myself in this relationship to be with you for better or for worse, in health and in sickness, in riches and in poverty. So it's a very, very strong statement that people are making.
Till death do us part.
Till death do us part, yeah. It's a very strong statement.
And since it's a very strong statement, what should someone think about before? Because of course this is marriage, yeah? By the time you're exchanging those vows and you're even stating till death do us part, quote unquote. But what exactly should one be looking at, or how prepared should you be by the time you're standing there in front of God and man saying for better or for worse?
Yeah. I think I'll take us just a little bit back and just ask, and just say, what is the purpose? What is the reason for getting married? Because then it's going to determine if you're going to be able to keep what you're saying, the vows that you're saying. And, in our grandparents' time, your grandparent, my grandparent, they had a reason for being together, which helped sustain, that relationship. And the reason that they had to be together, very simple, for procreation and for survival, okay? So you knew you needed to procreate.
And survive.
And you also knew you needed to survive. You needed those kids to work in the shamba, to just have food, And so because they had that understanding of the reason why they're coming together, then it kind of put into perspective everything else, okay? So when they were even selecting their spouses, they would go for a well-endowed African woman, who can work because they knew the purpose for which they were getting married. So I think now, in modern times, in the modern economy, I think we have lost that sense of why are we getting married and why should we stick it out in the first place? Yeah.
Since we're just the three of us in set, and this is a conversation that we're having, a very serious one, by the way, Ayub. Just very quickly, tell me what that means to you, for better or for worse, from a man's perspective.
Well, it entails much of not exactly the opposite, but what the pastor here expressed. To the betterment of the family also, and the coming together of man and woman. Let me use that phrase in an attempt to establish a union moving forward, which is dedicated much to God,
of course.
and seeks strength and some sense of stability from the above, because our comprehension then as human beings is way below that of God. There are things that he can do that we human beings cannot.
Now, with that said and done, how serious do you think this our generation, or how serious do couples of today take this matter? How serious do they hold marriage?
Yeah, I love what Ayub has said, in that he has said that with a union, it's much higher than we would think, as just the man and the man and the woman. It serves a much bigger purpose, and for sure, the marriage is what holds a society together.
Yeah.
And when marriages break down, when families break down, then the fabric of the society is actually broken down. And I think we do not enter into marriage with that understanding that, hey, this is a society, this is my contribution to the society to kind of, hold it together. So I think, and I think that's what I'm saying, people do not have that understanding of the seriousness of the vows that they are making, unfortunately.
So what's the problem? What is going on? Because I think we've all seen it, and we all have friends who you end up being in a relationship and you're so in love.
That's right.
And that same love becomes hate so fast. And I mean, we've had so many crimes of passion. I mean, Langata Women's Prison and Committee has quite a number of stories. So Why is it, what changes that?
Yeah.
How is it the same person that I love so much is the same person I can hate so much? And decide it's either, of course, the worst being death. You end up killing the person you claim that you loved. But we have so many divorce cases. And I mean, even yesterday, there was a bill that was denied. I mean, the judges denied the fact that if you divorce someone, you go 50-50.
Yeah.
So how do you walk into a relationship saying through thickness and health, and then for better, for worse, the whole situation, and somehow end up, you do not want this person anymore?
Yeah.
What is the problem?
Yeah.
And is it okay not to just want someone, or is it okay not to love, or you feel like you're in love with that person all of a sudden, regardless of the fact that you're in a marriage?
Yeah. Well, that happens. I mean, unfortunately, it happens. I mean, we see people getting married, and within 6 months, you know, they're saying, you know, this thing did not work, we were not suited for each other. And I believe there are two things. Number one, it's just lack of adequate preparation. If we're to go back to our cultures, and, you know, people were prepared. You know, your aunties, your uncles, there was a lot of preparation that kind of supported these young people as they were getting married. But we do not have that. We don't have that kind of preparation. People walk in there completely blinded to what they're entering into. And the only models or the only preparation we have is really Hollywood. You know, it's just Hollywood. You know, you watch, you watch on TV, you see relationships, and you assume that that is what marriage is about, or that's what relationships are about. And we forget that Hollywood is entertainment. It's purely entertainment. There's this teen girl who I was talking to, and she told me, you know, she was going into boarding, and she thought that boarding would be like High School Musical. You know, High School Musical. And I think people are going into marriage thinking, you know, just having all manner of thoughts, and yet that is not the reality. So lack of adequate preparation is really what is getting us in trouble.
And that's